There is a book that no one could open, a book sealed with 7 seals so sacred that not even God's most intimate prophets had access to it. John, in the Apocalypse, wept bitterly when he saw that no one in heaven or on earth was worthy to break it. But why is this book so important? What was written in it? And, the most forgotten question of all, when was this book sealed? Could it be that it contained not the end, but the beginning? Revelations so ancient that they preceded Genesis. Something was written by God before time, and he hid it even from the prophets. If this awakens you, like it now, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because what you are about to hear here can change your faith forever. Stay until the end, because God has something powerful to reveal to you. And comment here, Lord, reveal what the seals have hidden. In Revelation 5, the scene is one of profound solemnity. A throne, living creatures, elders, and in the center the right hand of the unseated holding a sealed book. This is not just a symbol. It is a real spiritual document containing something so powerful that not even angels dare touch it. But if it was in God's hands, why was it sealed? And who wrote it? The answer may lie at the very beginning, or rather before the beginning. This book may contain the eternal decrees, the plans that God established before he said, "Let there be light." Daniel had a similar vision. In Daniel 12, the angel tells him, "Close up the words and seal the book until the time of the end." This means that there are revelations that have been hidden even from the prophets because they belong to a time that has not yet arrived or that is still being restored. The book of Revelation and the book of Daniel seem to speak to the same truth. There are sealed heavenly records that do not belong to our linear time, but to eternal time, the time that existed before the foundation of the world, and that is when history really begins. Scholars often think of these seals as final judgments, but what if they are eternal memories? Psalm 139 gives us a clue when it says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days of my life were written in your book." This means that God writes heavenly books before we are even born. If there are records of our lives, why wouldn't there be a larger book, one containing the earliest acts of the heavenly kingdom? A book that recorded the words God spoke before he created the heavens and the earth. A book that holds secrets that even angels dare not utter. In the books of Enoch, which were widely studied by ancient theologians and are even cited by Jude in the New Testament, there are mentions of heavenly tablets, records of angels, and of God's eternal decrees. Although non-canonical, these texts suggest that before the creation of the visible world, laws, orders, names, and destinies were already established in the heavens. This echoes what Revelation presents to us. The throne of God is a place of eternal government, and there sacred records are kept. The sealed book would then be a memorial of what was decided before time. John was not crying out of curiosity alone. He was crying because that book represents the testimony of divine sovereignty over all ages. It may contain the reason why Lucifer fell, the plan for the redemption of humanity, and the decisions made before Eden even existed. The sealed book is a declaration. There are things that God has not yet revealed, truths that have been hidden even from the prophets, but its existence proves that nothing happens by chance, and that the world was born under a higher plan. It is important to note that only the Lamb was worthy to open this book. Not Michael, not Gabriel, not the elders on the throne, only the one who was slain and raised again. This indicates that this book was related to the eternal sacrifice of the Son, something that was prepared before the foundation of the world. As 1 Peter 1:20 says, "Foreknown before the foundation of the world, but revealed at the end of the ages." What Jesus revealed when he broke the seals was not just about the future, but about the past, that mankind has never seen. When the Lamb begins to open the seals, cosmic phenomena are unleashed: horses, voices, thunder. But this is no ordinary sequence. It is the release of truths that have been guarded for ages. Each seal breaks a spiritual barrier. Each seal brings to light decisions made in the eternal kingdom. These revelations shake heaven and earth because they were written before either existed. So they are not just apocalyptic, they are pre-genetic, pre-human, pre-fall, pre-everything. There is one detail that is often overlooked. The book was held in the right hand of the one seated on the throne. The right hand, in Scripture, represents authority, justice, and action. This indicates that the contents of the book are not just prophecies, they are an official act of the heavenly government, a legal and sacred document. And if it is sealed, it is because the time for its revelation was not yet complete. But the question remains, when was this book written? And the most surprising answer is before Genesis. Genesis 1:1 marks the beginning of time, space, and matter. But before that, there was something that Genesis itself does not directly reveal: the mind of God planning all things. The sealed book may contain the eternal decrees, the names of the angels, the maps of the heavenly realm, and even the purposes of creation. So it is not just a future revelation, it is a record of what God decided when there was no day or night. It is the book of silence before the word. Psalm 119:89 says, "Forever, O Lord, your word is settled in heaven." This means that the word was established before history. John 1 confirms, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This word, the Word, was expressed in heaven before it was spoken on earth. The sealed book therefore may contain this original utterance, the divine words that shaped the universe, and which were hidden not by chance, but by mercy. For if these revelations had been given at the wrong time, the world would not have been able to bear them. John himself nearly fainted upon seeing the throne, and Daniel became ill after receiving heavenly visions. Imagine then the weight of a book that contains not only the future, but the secrets of the very beginning. So, the seal was not just protection, it was compassion. And the opening of the seals marks not only the end of the human age, but the restoration of the eternal plan that existed before man. It is interesting to note that the prophet Ezekiel also saw a book. In Ezekiel 2:9-10, he describes a scroll written inside and out with words of lamentation, weeping, and woe. This is the same description given to the book in Revelation. Two prophets, centuries apart, saw the same heavenly object. This indicates that the sealed book does not belong to an age, but to a time suspended above history. What is inside it may be the same content that Ezekiel saw, but which only the Lamb could reveal. Throughout the Bible, we see mention of heavenly books: the book of life, the book of deeds, the book of remembrance. But the sealed book looks different. It does not contain names of people or human acts. It contains divine decisions. It is the book of what God thought, said, and decreed before any creature existed. It is the record of the first meeting of the eternal kingdom. And so it is not just mysterious, it is sacred beyond comprehension, shrouded in glory and awe. The Lamb did not simply open the book, he broke its seals one by one. This shows that revelation is progressive and that access to eternal truth comes in stages. Each seal represents a spiritual boundary being broken, a veil being torn apart, until full understanding of the divine plan can be restored. And this is why not everyone understands revelation, because there is no ordinary prophecy. It is a reminder of what was hidden from before the beginning. Jesus said, "I still have many things to say to you, but you cannot bear them now. John 16:12. This confirms that there are truths that have not yet been released because humanity is not ready. But as the seals are opened, the times are accelerating. We are approaching a time when the sealed contents will be made manifest, and what will come to light may shake the foundations of faith, not because it contradicts the Bible, but because it expands on what it has always hidden in sacred codes. There is something profound in the fact that John saw the book in heaven, not on earth. This shows that its origin is entirely spiritual and that nothing in it has been tainted by human history. It was not written by Moses, prophets, or angels. It predates all of that. It was formed in eternity, in the depths of the divine will. What is more, the book was with God before it was revealed to John, which indicates that its existence is independent of creation. It is part of the heavenly structure of the kingdom, a record of the unseen. Many people are unaware that in Revelation 10, John receives a little book from the hands of an angel and is told to eat it. The little book was sweet in the mouth, but bitter in the stomach. This act symbolizes that receiving heavenly revelations requires spiritual digestion. Not everything that is beautiful to the eyes of the soul is light to the heart. What comes from God is sweet because it is holy, but bitter because it reveals truths that confront us. Could this little book be part of the great sealed book, an authorized fragment for a specific time? In Daniel 7:10, the prophet sees the throne of God and thousands upon thousands who serve it. Before the throne, the judges sat and the books were opened. This confirms that there are multiple books in heaven and that they will be opened at different times. The sealed book then is not the only one, but it may be the first, the one that holds the foundation of the others. And if it is sealed, it is because the foundation has not yet been fully understood by humanity. It is like a hidden foundation beneath the house. Revelation is not just the end of the world, it is the unfolding of what was sealed before the world began. And that is exactly what the seals reveal. Not just plagues, wars, or judgments, but truths that have been kept hidden since the days of creation. As Matthew 13:35 says, "I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden from the foundation of the world." What Jesus began to declare in parables, Revelation continues to reveal in codes. And the sealed book is the key that connects eternity to time. The sealed book also shows us a characteristic of God himself. He does not reveal everything at once. Throughout the Bible, we see that he acts in stages, in cycles of revelation. He speaks to Abraham, but does not reveal the complete plan. He shows Moses a part of his glory, but not his face. He gives visions to Daniel, but orders them to be sealed. This teaches us that there is a divine pedagogy in revelation. What is holy can only be given to those who are ready to receive it. That is why the book remains sealed for many, because there are still hearts that are not prepared. Another powerful detail is the symbolism of the 7 seals. The number 7 in Scripture represents completeness, perfection, and totality. This means that what is sealed is the complete set of eternal decisions and decrees. Nothing is loose or incomplete. Each seal represents a layer of God's glory, a depth of his plan. And when they are broken, they not only release future events, they restore to humanity truths forgotten since Eden, truths that were in the heavens before they were known on earth. When the 7th seal is broken, there is silence in heaven for about half an hour. Revelation 8:1. This is perhaps one of the most enigmatic moments in the Bible. Heaven, always filled with singing and praise, falls completely silent. But why? Because what is about to be revealed is so holy, so absolute, that even the angels cease. It is as if all heaven holds its breath for the next page of the book. This silence is reverence, it is awe, it is expectation, and perhaps It is the echo of the time before Genesis. This silence also echoes Genesis 1:2. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, a state of suspension, of divine pause, a moment of absolute mystery. Perhaps this is the same atmosphere that the breaking of the last seal brings, a return to the invisible beginning, to the atmosphere before light, before matter, before everything. The sealed book holds the words that God spoke within his being before there was sound in the universe. And now he begins to make them known, seal by seal. Throughout redemptive history, God has revealed parts of his plan through covenants, with Noah, Abraham, Moses, David, but each of these covenants was a piece of a larger puzzle. The sealed book may be the unified set of these promises before any of them existed, before the flood, before the cross, before the fall. It is the hidden volume that precedes the visible covenants. It is the testimony of the eternal plan that existed before the need for redemption. Romans 16:25 speaks of secrets kept secret for ages past. This is a profound expression, ages past. It indicates that before creation, there were hidden decisions, strategies, and mysteries in God's heart. And the sealed book is the container of these secrets, a volume that not only records future events, but lays bare the foundations of God's purpose. It reveals not what will happen, but why it happens. It touches the innermost mind of God. The breaking of the seals is both a liturgical and a judicial moment. Each breaking triggers heavenly and earthly reactions, showing that the book is not merely symbolic but active. It governs the rhythms of history, even when it is closed. Its contents influence the course of time because they are the original plan. And when they are revealed, they do not merely clarify, they transform. The earth trembles, the heavens are moved, and hearts are shaken. For at last, something that was kept before time is given to men. The early church understood this mystery more deeply. Many of the fathers of faith believed that Christ came not only to save us from sin, but to reveal to us what had been hidden from eternity. As Paul says in Ephesians 3:9, to make manifest what is the fellowship of the mystery hidden from the ages in God. This confirms everything. There is an eternal mystery hidden for ages, and that mystery is recorded, not on earthly papyrus, but in the book that rested in God's hand before Genesis. This sealed book is the greatest sign that God has always had a plan. Before the chaos, before sin, before the rebellion in heaven, there was already an established structure, a script for eternity where every spiritual creature, every divine decision, every stage of creation, and even every detail of redemption were already foreseen. Nothing that has happened, is happening, or will happen is improvised. The sealed book is proof that history is not random. It is a progressive revelation of something already written. Revelation does not give us the direct content of the book, but rather reveals its effects. And this is intentional. God wants the focus to be on the Lamb, who has the authority to open it. Because more important than knowing what is written is recognizing who has access. Jesus is the link between eternity and time. He is the one who was with God when the book was written, and therefore he is the only one capable of breaking it. Each seal he opens is not just a prophetic act, it is a reminder of the covenant made in the unseen. The seals also mark a time of transition. When they are opened, a new spiritual reality begins to manifest on earth. This means that the contents of the book are not just revealed, they are incarnated. They become history, they become judgment, they become glory. What was hidden is mingled with the present. It is as if eternal time invades the physical world. So when we study the seals, we are not just seeking understanding, we are seeking spiritual discernment to perceive what God is revealing now. The vision of the sealed book confronts us with a great truth. There are more things hidden in God than are revealed to man, but the fact that he showed the book to John means that he wants to take us deeper, no longer as servants, but as children. And children have access to secrets that others do not see. The book was not given to theologians nor to kings. It was given to an apostle exiled, alone on an island. This teaches us that access to the unseen does not depend on position, but on surrender. The opening of the sealed book also reveals God's merciful heart. He could have kept everything hidden, leaving humanity groping in the dark, but he chose to reveal it. He chose to prepare his servants, to open portals of understanding, and to release glimpses of what has been hidden for ages. This shows us that God does not desire mystery for the sake of confusion, but for the sake of preparation. He reveals it little by little so that we may be transformed, not destroyed. The sealed book is an invitation to spiritual maturity. That is why Revelation ends with a powerful contrast. In Revelation 22:10, John is given a different command than Daniel. Do not seal the words of the prophecy of this book, because the time is near. What was sealed in the past is now beginning to be revealed. The truth that was hidden before Genesis is now approaching its fulfillment. The time of silence is ending. The time of revelation has come. And those who have ears to hear will understand the call. With each generation, God allows a new layer of this spiritual book to be understood. It is as if the seals continue to be opened one by one before the watchful eyes of those who watch. Therefore, this theme is not only prophetic, it is timely. The sealed book is being opened in the hearts of those who fearlessly seek the truth. And the content that was once inaccessible is now closer to being understood than ever before. The book is unfolding. Eternity is speaking. Are you listening? And if you're listening, then get ready, because this book doesn't just bring knowledge, it brings responsibility. Those who receive revelation from on high are called to walk in fear, humility, and reverence. The seal has been broken, the voice has been released, and the Lamb continues to open truths before us. Don't reject the invitation. Seek, study, pray. For what God hid before Genesis, he is now revealing to the humble who hunger to know what the prophets did not see. Now that the sealed book has begun to be opened, everything changes. What was merely symbolic becomes real. What was hidden becomes visible. And the question that remains is, are we prepared for what God is revealing? Not with carnal eyes, but with spiritual discernment, because these truths are not meant to impress, they are meant to transform. And only those who approach with reverence will be able to bear the light that shines from these eternal pages. What was hidden before Genesis, decrees, covenants, heavenly decisions, is now being blown back into time like a wind from the throne. And it's no coincidence that you're here listening to this. There's something in you that cries out for answers, something that knows there's more to the world than meets the eye. This sealed book is the echo of your calling. And if you've come this far, it's because God is beginning to open your understanding too. Don't wait for spectacular signs. Often, the greatest revelation comes in silence. In the same silence that preceded, "Let there be light," in the same silence of the seventh seal, because before God speaks, he prepares. And perhaps that preparation is happening right now, within you. The book is being read quietly, and the Spirit is translating seal by seal. For those who want more than words, they want truth. Quote of the day: there are secrets that God has revealed only to silence, and silence is ending. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave your like. And write in the comments, "Open my eyes, Lord, to understand what you sealed before time." And remember, by becoming a member of the channel, you help spread revelations like this to thousands of people. Just click on the Become a Member button below and bless this ministry with your faith.